everyone. So looks like Five Nights at Freddy, this highly anticipated movie based on video game which was released on theater and Peacock same time. Looks like this movie ended up dropping 70 something on a second weekend box office. Although when I was reporting this movie's opening weekend box office, I always knew this movie will have huge box office drop. End of the day, people who were really excited to see this movie, they went on its opening weekend and they saw that movie, and regardless this movie how much it dropped on second weekend, this movie cost only $20 million to make. Obviously this movie is a huge box office success for Blumhouse. They've been having a lot of box office success, especially in horror genre. They're doing really good, and especially if you think about this movie, end of the day didn't get a huge critic score on Rotten Tomatoes score, but the audience score is quite high. And I heard last weekend that this movie was actually quite a big event for all the fans, and they all went on its opening weekend. Obviously this movie opened to $80 million, was like it's beyond impressive. Like, it's so good number. Also this movie did actually quite good on the Peacock service as well. This movie was like a most watched movie ever on Peacock, so that's still very exciting. End of the day, I think releasing this movie on Peacock and the theater same time, it is little mistake, I guess, because like I think a lot of people probably checked it out on Peacock. If I think about, especially when I look at this movie's box office fall, because it's more than 70%, so does looks like it did affect its overall box office success. Then again, I feel like personally Universal, they didn't believe in this movie. Although this movie once again cost only $20 million to make, but this movie was really still is so huge hit. So looks like this movie on a second weekend sitting at $217 million at the worldwide number. International is 103 million, and the domestic is 113. So looks like this movie sitting total is 217, which is, I will say, still quite impressive, because this movie cost, it was so cheap to make. At this point, I feel like Blumhouse, they will look at this movie's number and they will be really happy. I call it a huge hit for them. Although I never thought this movie will be like crossing $1 billion, especially this movie still, it is like a horror genre. It's not for everyone. Some people like, this is not like a Super Mario Bros. This is a horror genre, and it is especially, it is made for certain demographic people. I think people who are targeted audience, they really enjoyed it and they did watch it where they can. But I think it could have done even better if it was released on only theater. Then again, I think Universal, they didn't thought this movie will be this much huge hit. They look at this number, I think they will be like happy with it, but still they will feel a little sad that they didn't release it just in theater. Releasing on a theater and the Peacock at the same time, it was obviously a mistake. If you look at this movie's box office drop for its second weekend, either way, I still am really surprised how good this movie is doing. Then again, this movie has a huge fan base, so it's not shocking. And that was my thought on this movie's this weekend box office. If you enjoyed this video, don't share my other videos on other topic. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.